Good evening. Here is the world news from our studio, BGI TV, Baba Bagide Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Moriwe Rebila Lawal. First are the major headlines for the world news. Pray for God's mercy, Khan tells Nigerians in New Year message. Nnamdi Kanu releases New Year message, says 2022 Year of Miracles. Primary, secondary schools in Lagos to resume on Tuesday. Governments. 5 dead as gunmen invade Delta Motor Park. Engage police in gun battle. Lagos community where policemen, NSCDC officers vandalize oil pipelines around 4 major police stations. 8 terrorism signs Nigeria should be aware of. And to world story, world ushers in 2022 after another pandemic-ridden year. And to sports, at last, Super Eagles drop Osimhen, invite 4 new players for AFCON. Now the news in details. The Christian Association of Nigeria has called on Nigerians to pray for God's mercy in 2022. In a New Year message signed on Friday by CAN President Samson Ayokole, the group said Nigerians, irrespective of their religious affiliations, should cry for the mercy of God that can preserve the nation and bring an end to all insecurity. I call on all Nigerians, irrespective of their religious affiliations, to rise up and cry for the mercy of God that can preserve us and bring an end to all these pains. It appears as if our governments have got to their wits' end over the menace of insecurity. Their major focus now is on the 2023 general election. Can the 2023 election happen if the nation is overrun by criminals? Our nation must survive first and be at peace before an election can take place. Looking back to the activities of 2021, Ayokole said, "Glory be to our God who helped us to escape all dangers and threats of the year 2021, occasioned by the criminal activities of the bandits, terrorists, kidnappers, and other unscrupulous elements amidst us. Families of kidnapped people are at the mercy of the criminals. Some were not even fortunate as they were killed after the ransom has been paid. Our security agencies have been overstretched, and the best done by our government is far from being enough if we must stay and say the truth without deceiving ourselves. The police have been parading the arrested kidnappers on the television, but surprisingly, it appears as if they are too busy with their investigations to prosecute them," the CAN president lamented. Still coming later, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, on Friday, released what could be his New Year message for 2022, which he said would herald divine grace and favor of unimaginable proportions. According to him, abiding grace and miraculous happenings would punctuate 2022, while sorrow and signs shall take a sudden and unremitting flight. While causing perpetrators of evil and killings, Kanu also said that he and hyper followers are being vindicated by the recent abduction of the Imo State governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress in the 2019 election, Ugumba Uche Uwosu, by the police, that politicians had been responsible for the killings and atrocities in the state. The leader of Kanu's legal team, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, stated these in a statement titled Updates on our routine visit to our indefatigable clients Onyedu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the headquarters of the Department of State Security, Abuja, on December 30th, 2021. The new year offers us renewed hope in Chukwokike, Abiyama. It will herald divine grace and favor of unimaginable proportions. Abiding grace and miraculous happenings will punctuate it. Sorrow and sighing shall take a sudden and unremitting flight. Chukwokike, Abiyama being and abiding with us, we shall reap an appropriate beneficially comprehensive victory on all sides. All public and private schools below the tertiary level in Lagos State are to resume for the second term 2021-2022 academic session on Tuesday, the government has announced. The Director General of the Office of Education Quality Assurance, Mrs. Abiola Seriki Ayeni, made the announcement in a statement on Friday by the spokesman for the office, Olaniro Emmanuel. According to her, All learners are expected back in school as academic activities start the same day. Seriki Ayane wished the students and teachers a happy resumption and appealed to all school leaders to enforce strict compliance with all existing COVID-19 safety protocols in the states. Similarly, Seriki Ayane enjoined boarding students across the state to resume on Monday next week in preparation for academic activities. She said the Office of Education Quality Assurance would monitor compliance with the resumption date in the Lagos State Unified Academic Calendar, as well as observe the teaching and learning process in schools. The Delta State Police Command has confirmed the killing of 5 persons as unknown gunmen attacked Mofo Motor Park in Udu local government area, Delta State, and engaged police operatives in a gun battle. Police Public Relations Officer of the State Command, Mr. Bright Edafe, who confirmed the attacks in a statement, said 2 of the gunmen escaped. The statement read, on December 30th at about 10:05 a.m., information was received by the command that daredevil armed hoodlums were firing intense gunshots at Mofo Motor Park in Udu LGA, and in the process shot 3 persons dead. The Commissioner of Police Delta State, Ali Mohammed Ali, directed the DPO Oviran Alaja to go after the hoodlums. The hoodlums, on sighting the police, escaped towards Udu Otokutu Expressway in a red Mercury Marina Jeep with number plates Abuja KWL 895RQ. But on getting to Ibeki in Ovian Alaja, they again attempted to attack one chief named Wutel, unknown to them that the chief had a team of Special Protection Units, SPU, operatives escorting him. However, on noticing the presence of the SPU operatives, the hoodlums, numbering about 4, diverted to a street in Ibeki Udu. The combined team of SPU operatives and Ovian Alaja patrol teams, led by the DPO, Ovian Alaja division, went after the hoodlums. The hoodlums engaged in the police teams in the gun duel, and in the ensuing shootout, 2 of the armed robbers sustained gunshots injuries, while the other members of the gang escaped into the bush. There's a report coming. It was on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2021. Most residents on Glory Land Estates, Isheri Olofin, Igondo area of Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, had retired to bed, waiting for dawn to kick off preparation for the Yuletide. But around 12:30 a.m., the sleepy neighborhood erupted in chaos. Explosions, fire had broken out from the pipeline point in the wetland and consumed the landward shrubs and trees. Within seconds, balls of fire powered by oil rolled down, devouring the only ricketing wooden bridge that connected the community with its neighbors, with threats to advance to the many clusters of houses nearby. Anxious parents and families shrieked and searched for loved ones in frenetic strains to escape the raging fire. As for the Sporting Inferno, followed the water channels, now overtaken by spilled oil. Some of the residents courageously mobilized and confronted the fire. A community leader with a borehole pumped water as the youth and elderly joined in keeping the fire at bay. At sunrise, when the fire had ebbed and tired residents resting from the overnight battles, news reports from the statement of an emergency management agency started making the rounds that high-tension cables which landed in the pipeline area caused the explosion. In fact, it was the other way round. The explosion was caused by vandals who spilled fuel. It was a loud blast that made the electrical grid fall, which caused some sparks. There's a distance between where the cables fell and where the explosion actually occurred, a trader close to the scene added. Still on the world news from BGI TV, it is important for all Nigerians and African countries hit by insecurity challenges to recognize that when terrorist attacks occur, it affects everyone. So Nigerians as well as citizens in terrorist-hit countries need to work with the law enforcement agencies by always informing and alerting them of any suspicious activities. All Nigerians and all Africans need to recognize the 8 signs of terrorism. As an adage says, prevention is better than cure. If you see something, you say something. The 8 ones are mentioned. The 8 signs of terrorism recognized by experts that Nigerians should be aware of are surveillance, elicitation, testing security, funding, acquiring supplies, impersonation, rehearsals, and deployment. During surveillance, terrorists will try to determine the strength and weakness of the targeted area while gauging emergency response times. Sometimes they use vision-enhancing surveillance, acquiring flaws, plans, or blueprints, showing interest in security, or obtaining information to access facility. If you notice any of these activities, you should report them to your local authorities. And to world story. The world began ushering in 2022 on Friday after another tumultuous and pandemic-ridden year, capped by new restrictions, soaring case numbers, and a slight glimmer of hope for better times ahead. The past 12 months saw a new U.S. president and a new Adel Harbor, the first spectator-free Olympics, and the dreams of democracy from Afghanistan to Myanmar and Hong Kong crushed by authoritarian regimes. But it was the pandemic, now entering its third year, that again dominated life for what most of mankind. More than 5.4 million people have died since the coronavirus was first reported in central China in December 2019. Countless more have been sickened, subjected to outbreaks, lockdowns, lock-ins, and an alphabet spaghetti of PCR, LFT, and RAT tests. The year 2021 started with hope as life-saving vaccines were rolled out to around 60% of the world's population, although many of its poor still have limited access, and some of its rich believe the jabs are part of some ill-defined plots. As the year drew to a close, the emergence of the Omicron variant pushed the number of daily new COVID-19 cases past 1 million for the first time, according to an AFP tally. From the world story, we will go to sports. Victor Osimhen is out of the 33rd Africa Cup of Nations, the Nigeria Football Federation confirmed on Friday. Also, Super Eagles have invited 4 new players for AFCON over the health concerns and injuries of some players. The NFF spokesperson, Ademola Olajire, made this known on Friday, adding that only the goalkeeping department is unchanged. Other players newly added to the AFCON squad are right back Tyrone Eboe, England-based Ola Oluwasemilogo, Greece-based Henry Onyekuru, and Czech Republic-based forward Peter Olayinka. Olajire said lively forward Victor Osimhen's positive test to the coronavirus pandemic a couple of days ago and injury to the versatile Abdullahi Shehu have constrained changes to Nigeria's final 28-man list for the 33rd Africa Cup of Nations starting in Cameroon next weekend. The goalkeeping department is untouched, but the forced exclusion of Cyprus-based Shehu, who can slot easily into sections of defense and midfield, now with Venezia in the Italian Serie A and England-based Oluwasemilogo Ajayi returns to the Group 4 Africa's flagship football championship following injury to centre-back Leon Balogun. Ajayi can also play as a midfielder. Osimhen's absence paves way for Greece-based Henry Onyekuru, who was also at the last finals in Egypt. Informed Rapid Raider Emmanuel Dennis, whose Premier League Premiership club is based in France, has been excused to provide room for Czech Republic-based forward Peter Olayinka. That was the world news from BGI TV, Babagede Imo TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Pray for God's mercy. Khan tells Nigerians in New Year message. Nnamdi Kanu releases New Year message, says 2022 year of miracles. Primary secondary schools in Lagos to resume on Tuesday, governments. We also brought to you 5 dead as gunmen invade Delta Motor Park, engage police in gun duel. Lagos community where policemen and SCDC officers vandalize oil pipelines around 4 major police stations. We also brought to you 8 terrorism signs Nigerians should be aware of, and to the foreign story. World ushers in 2022 after another pandemic-ridden year. And finally, sport. At least Super Eagles dropped Osimhen, invites 4 new players for AFCON. Thank you for watching. For updates, you can link up through our YouTube channel, Babagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow on Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For other placements, coverage of events and functions, the phone number right on the screen is the number to call directly to the marketing department. Wishing everyone a very blessed Friday. And thank God it's Friday as well. As we end the year 2021, we wish every blessed family of BGI TV all across the world to enjoy the year as it ends. I am yours faithfully, Mo Rebila Lawal.